All right, Patricia needs to cut out this. Okay, hi everyone, welcome. So glad that you could join us today. I would do a quick introduction of the webinar and the hosting here. My name is Maggie, I'm CMO of New Media, and I'll be co-hosting this webinar with our VP of Marketing, Yuan Wang. So for today's webinar, we're going to talk about, obviously you can see here, 4 ways to convert sales using digital marketing with a focus on food and beverage industry. And we'll cover 4 topics, including how to build a successful brand, how to develop products that actually convert sales, how to do influencer marketing, and why reputation management matters. It's also very important for us to mention that this webinar is sponsored by USPAACC and SBA for the Community Navigator Pilot Program. And for New Media, it's our honor to be part of this program to support the underserved minority community. And by the end of this webinar, we'll have a 10 to 15 minutes Q&A section. So if you have any questions, I will encourage you to submit your question to the chat box. We'll try our best to answer those questions. All right. So we'd like to give a brief introduction of our company, New Media. New Media is an international digital marketing PR agency headquartered in New York City. We specialize in public-facing brands, and our mission is to provide cutting-edge digital marketing solutions. We have worked with over 1,500 clients, and most of our clients are the API clients that they contributed 70% of our clients' portfolio, and we focus a lot on food and beverage industry that contributed 65% of our clients' portfolio. Other than that, we also work with other industries such as beauty, e-commerce, lifestyle brands, professional service, and more. So on this slide, you can see some of our clients, partners of New Media. Hopefully you spotted some familiar brands that you may have seen on the street or visited in the past. So now let's get started the webinar. Before we talk about how to convert, I like to start with this question: what is conversion? So in marketing, conversions are the action that move a lead or customer further down to the purchasing funnel. And in a more common way of saying, it means by doing marketing or advertising, we can successfully convince a target customer to take action such as to make a purchase. And in digital marketing, we can get our target customer to make purchase both online and offline. Right. So one of the first approaches to take to increase your conversion is to build a successful brand. And in this section, we have narrowed down 4 steps of building a more memorable brand that can help you to stand out from the competitors. So step number 1 is to find your market position. We suggest everyone to know your target market and segments before you even try to build a brand personality. So you should understand your audience, such as their age, interest, income, buying power, and more. Now you can narrow down your brand personality dimensions. So we're gonna give an example. Let's say we are using a hair salon, for example. So we can compare a hair salon that has a trendy, edgy personality to one that markets itself as elegant and refined. And now you can also choose the top adjective to describe your brand. So when you think of word like excitement, you would think of a brand like Red Bull, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. But when you think of something more upper class, you may think of, we're gonna use different industries, for example, let's say the tech industry, you may think of brands like Apple or fashion that's really relatable to a lot of audience here. Let's say when you think of upper class, you may think of like Cartier, Tiffany, Hermes. So now step number 3, you can elevate your branding game by personalizing the brand. So by telling the founder story and the value of the team behind the brand beliefs, you can build a deeper connection with the customers. And now finally, you can start portraying and start monetizing. So utilize the social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok to create an online community and start monetizing your brand value. We have prepared a couple of case studies to help you better understand the process of branding. So first case study is XPA. XPA is a fine dining hub restaurant located on the Las Vegas Strip. Their target market is the mid to high income group, and their purchase per person is $200 plus per person. And the brand label or the brand personality, we try to market for the expat is to become the first ever fine dining hapa restaurant in the US. And the brand value or the brand story that we try to tell to convey is that the founder wants to break the stereotype on Chinese hapa restaurant being on the cheaper and being messy in the US mainstream market. So our team has tried to build the brand personality using Instagram and TikTok to generate traffic and conversion. On the left corner, you can see that the videos, the photos that we created for expat on social media is that more of a high-end fine dining vibe. And we have also established the brand reputation and credibility using PR and media. On the top, you can see that expat has been featured on a lot of big media publications such as Either, Force. They have talked about expat's founder story, their fine dining environment experience, their special dish, the robot service, and more. And eventually, we have helped the founder, the team, to break the stereotype on Chinese hapa restaurant in the US mainstream market. So now we're moving on to second case study. You may have think that we've been using case study like expat, and expat may sound really fancy, fine dining. It sounds like they spend tons of budget on marketing. But what if I have a more something more affordable brand in terms as a restaurant? So we use China Mama as another case study. So China Mama, their target market is a mid to low income group, and their average spending is $30 to $40 per person. Their brand label we try to market is Mama's recipe and more of home style restaurant image. And the brand value is to create an authentic home style flavor dining experience for the customers. So our team has focused a lot on social media marketing. As you can see on the right, is there a snapshot of their Instagram and TikTok. So we have tried to create warm tone and color in terms of content production. We have used a lot of casual lifestyle video clips to portray the more of a home dining experience, casual dining experience. And we have also worked with a lot of Instagram reels and TikTok trends to help them to go viral. So on this slide, you can see more of China Mama social media data before and after they've gone viral on social media. So in one of those peak months on TikTok for China Mama, they had monthly engagement over 3.2 million just on TikTok. And China Mama, not sure if I mentioned, they're a restaurant, a small restaurant located in Las Vegas. So before they have gone viral on social media, they only had 10% mainstream customers in Vegas. And now because the popularity they get on social media, TikTok and Instagram, now they have 55% of mainstream customers contribute to their customer. And we have helped them to triple the revenues after they got popular on Instagram and TikTok. So the next part, we're gonna have our VP Marketing UX to talk about developing products that convert sales.
Hi, thank you, Maggie. So in this section, we will talk about how to develop products that can convert sales. Before that, I will give you some data to show the power of social media for now. 5 billion people around the world now use social media. Their average time spent using social media is about 2.5 hours per day, but people only spend 1.7 seconds on average on a piece of content. So let's do some math practice. We use daily time spent divided by the average of time spent per post. Then we will get this number, 5,300. It means people will receive around 5,000 posts per day. So how can you help your brand or your product stand out? The answer is easy. A lot of us already know about this, which is to create an Instagrammable product to boost your sales. Ever since social media has become a huge part of our life and consumer behaviors has changed a lot, now people use social media posts as a way to show off their social status and also the social validation. So business need to leverage this kind of consumer behaviors and monetizing from it. by launching Instagrammable products can easily help you boost your social media exposure and sales. Then we're gonna talk about how to develop a perfect Instagrammable products. There are 3 traits that we can consider in the development process. I think the first one is easy to understand. It's the worthy. The product presentation has to be pretty. So people will voluntarily take photos and post online, which means free marketing for us, right? The second trait is to be unique. You want a product to be to present your brand and also have a reason for people to come to visit your storefront. The last one is we need to make sure the product itself is hard to be copied, but actually products are easy to be copied. It happens in 3 to 6 months after launching the products. So business owner need to realize that you cannot expect a long-term sales boost just from one Instagrammable products. Not to mention that customers also get tired of seeing a product over 6 months. So some of you may think developing new products is time consuming and could be costly. If you don't have the bandwidth to do so, I think you can look into the second type of products, discounted products. So how do we choose the discounted products from your existing menus and what's the best practice? I think first of all, the products should be able to help you reach large audience, which means most of the customers can easily accept the products. The learning curve should be short. Given the example on the right, we have iMilky's 3-year anniversary promotion, which featuring their 3 top seller drinks. And the second factor we need to look into is the relevance of the products and your brand. For example, if you own a burger shop, but you decide to promote $1 salad for conversion, there is no strong relevance between the salad and your burger brand. So, but if you choose $1 or even $3 burger, I believe a lot of people will buy it. Next one is the high value. When we propose this discounted product idea to our clients, sometimes we will get this answers. Oh, that's great. Let's give out a free miso soup. It's a sushi restaurant. But for the prospective conversion, how many people would actually go to the restaurant just for a free miso soup? Because people already know the value of miso soup is pretty low. Last but not least, low cost. At the end of the day, we all want to make profits. You don't want to have extremely low or even negative profits to have this kind of promotion. So there are 2 types of costs you need to look into. Number 1 is the cost of food. Number 2 is the cost of labor and operation to run the kind of promotion. Okay, but here we want to say is discounted products doesn't mean it's a price war, because price war will damage your brand value over time. If customer already get used to paying $1 over time, they not want to buy the original price ever again. So I think we need to set up limits on quantity or time for this kind of promotion. For example, you can limit the promotion to the first 50 customer of the day, or you can make sure the promotion is only available for a really short time period. Okay, let's move into the next section. It's about how to do influencer marketing. More and more business owners reach out to us and say, oh, I want to do influencers marketing. But before that, I think all of us need to know how to choose the ideal influencers. The first step you need to know is who is your target audience. Like Maggie mentioned before, you should know their age, their interest, their incomes, and so on. And the second step is choose the right platforms. The most popular social media platforms are Instagram, TikTok, and if you have many Chinese customers, you may also need to focus on Little Rabbit and Chinese version of TikTok. And also there are many different influencers categories such as foodie, lifestyle, beauty, and sports. For example, if you are looking for influencers for a restaurant, of course you should choose foodie and lifetime influencers. Next one is before you start to collaborate with them, you should have a really detailed promotion idea, like what would you like to propose, what would you like to promote, and what would you like to offer to the influencers, and of course you should have a clear timeline. In this section, we will talk about 2 types of influencers, top tier and low tier influencers. So how do you choose which tier of influencers you should work with and when to work with them? Okay, let's move on to the next page. For top tier influencers, The pros they can reach out more audience for sure because they have a big follower base, so they can help you boost your brand awareness. However, their content seems less authentic, and in other words, people already know this is sponsored content. And of course, this kind of big influencers usually have a high collaboration fee. In some case, maybe one top tier influencers could charge 10K for just one 30-second videos. So it is best to work with them for some national scale campaign, or you can promote a limited time campaign, which you need a quick boost on campaign awareness in a limited time, for example, like grand opening. Okay, let's look into some case study. New York Bucket List is one of the top tier influencers that we've worked with. They have over 1.5 million followers on Instagram, and we collaborate with them for our clients Hayaki, a Japanese barbecue restaurant in New York City. After being featured on their Instagram feed, our Hayaki at Instagram account gained close to 2K followers and 10K impressions overnight, which is incredible. And also on the operations side, the business had a significant increase on the renovation. Okay, now let's look into the low tier influencers, aka micro influencers. In the past couple of years, micro influencers has become the new favorite of brand because their content looks more authentic and trustworthy. That can connect the followers on a more personal levels, and because they have less followers, they are more affordable for our clients. But at the same time, they have limited reach. So we suggest work with this kind of influencers for some local marketing campaigns or even long-term campaigns. One of the micro influencers campaigns we launched is for Maison Sang, a speakeasy French fusion restaurant. We had over 30 micro influencers promoting Maison Sang, a social media platform called Rap, a Chinese version of Pinterest. Before this campaign, they only had 5% Chinese customers, but after it, 70% of their customers are Chinese. And their booking rate per month was only about 3%. Now it's around 75% already. They just opened their second location last summer. Okay, next section, Maggie will talk about reputation management.
All right, everyone. So now we're moving to the last section of the workshop. I'm going to talk about why reputation management matters. I'm going to focus on Yelp and Google. So a lot of business owners, they may have spent a lot of time and effort or even budget on branding, social media marketing, influencer marketing, but they may have ignored the importance of Yelp and Google. And some of the business owner may not even know that this is actually the most cost-efficient way to convert sales. So how can you get the most conversion out of Yelp and Google? There are two easiest way to do it. The first one is to make sure that your business info are complete and accurate on both platforms. So you gotta make sure your business address, phone number, business hours, business descriptions, and all the stuff you can put on these two platforms are accurate and complete. And the second one is call to action button. If you're not sure what the call to action buttons are, we have example on the left is a Google My Business listing of Wagyu House, a hot pot restaurant in LA. So we have circled out the call to action buttons here. You can see on the left, the order pickup, the order delivery, the phone call button. You can also check the address. You can book reservation to the third-party platform. So you gotta make sure that you have set up all this call to action button to increase the conversion rate on Yelp and Google. And what's the best part of this? They're all free. They're free tools provided by Yelp and Google. So make sure that you double check your listings now, Yelp and Google, set up all the business information, upload the photos, and set up the call to action buttons. Now we're moving to the section I think most of the business owner, I would say restaurant owner, loves or hates the most, which is the reviews and rating. So I created a scenario here using restaurant A and B. So both restaurants are Japanese restaurant located in Midtown Manhattan. So let's say I'm going to eat out tonight for dinner. I'm going to choose between restaurant A and B. And just by looking at Google My Business information. So the first thing that we see here, restaurant A has 4.9 rating. and restaurant B has 3.2. If you look closely, restaurant A has over 200 reviews and restaurant B has only 16 reviews. And the top 3 reviews under restaurant A's Google My Business listing are 5-star reviews, praising their amazing food, great surveys, great quality of the food, and overall amazing dining experience at restaurant A. And restaurant B, 2 out of the 3 top reviews are 1-star review, complain about the manager being rude, worse, like bad quality of the food and the restaurant is just terrible. I think most of us here, if we gotta choose which one we want to go for dinner tonight, we will go for restaurant A. So this is just a quick mindset thing for you. Like I wanted to create for all of us to remember and to emphasize the importance of rating and reviews for Yelp and Google. So the next section we have prepared some industry insights and suggestions for restaurant business on Yelp and Google. The first one is the business rating. So we suggest that on Google, a restaurant business should have 4.5 or higher rating. And for Yelp, you should have 4.0 or higher. And the number of reviews and rating actually will affect your search ranking. So let's say a restaurant has over 500 reviews and the rating is 4.5 and higher. This restaurant will most likely be ranked higher on the search result. And there's 4 more industry insights that we can look into. The first one is, 85% of customers actually think the local reviews older than 3 months are less relevant. So, and the second one is, the first one here is 100 restaurant that has over 100 and more reviews that can have higher credibility and increase the conversion. And the second one that I already mentioned, that reviews older than 3 months are less relevant. And the third one is 1 bad review equals 22% loss in sales conversion, and 0.1 star increase equals 25 conversion rate increase. So that concludes everything in this workshop. If you have any questions, make sure that you submit your question in the chat box. We will try our best to answer your questions. And in the meantime, we're gonna talk about the USPAACC CNPP program. So New Media is one of the USPAACC national spoke to support and serve for the underserved minority community. And under the CNPP program, there's also many other spokes that present different industries to provide different types of service, such as legal assistance, business tax, accounting, funding resources, and grant writing, contracting. So if you're interested in learning more about CNPP and the service that they provide, make sure that you scan the QR code on the right corner on the screen, and or just contact us through whether our social media or email us to learn more about the CNPP, or even sign up for the free digital marketing consulting service from New Media. So it seems that we don't have any questions from our attendee. We're gonna finish this webinar. If you do have any other questions later on, you can still contact us through email or social media. All right. Thank you. Have a nice one.